What up? It's Jimmy. This is a clip from our big NFL Conference Finals show starring Bebsy, Dutch Boy Fresh, and Nolly Knows. If you want to check out the entire show, hit the link at the bottom of the screen. It's available exclusively on odds.com. Interesting. I really think let's break down the Chiefs here right away and let you hit the Chiefs a little bit harder now, and we'll go start with Dutch and go up to Nolly and Bebsy, and then we'll have Bebsy start up the props. But if you want the Chiefs, it's pretty simple. You have to bet them now, even though Mahomes isn't cleared. Get the 3, lock in the 3, have it in your pocket, and then Mahomes gets announced. It'll go to 3.5, and the Bills will get bet heavy. But if you're betting the Bills, you have to be patient. You have to be disciplined. You have to wait for it to be announced. Some money to come in on the Chiefs and then take the Bills. That's what Big Joe's saying. Big Joe the Capper saying, waiting on the Chiefs line to climb to them on Buffalo. So you guys just have to be patient, I think, at this point. Chiefs coming off 22-17 home win over the Browns. Mahomes 21-30, 255 yards, 1 touchdown before getting knocked out of the game with a concussion. Henny came in, made enough plays to win the game for the Chiefs. 6 of 8, 66 yards, 1 interception. Ran for 13 yards on a crucial 3rd down. Hill and Kelsey were both excellent, as they've been all year long. Hill caught 8 passes for 110 yards. Kelsey caught 8 passes for 109 yards, touchdown. With Edwards-Helaire out with injury. Darrell Williams, 13 rushes for 78 yards. Le'Veon Bell, 2 carries for 6 yards, non-existent at all. And Edwards-Helaire will be returning after missing 3 games with an ankle injury. Sammy Watkins also expected to return with a calf injury. The Chiefs' defense, which we don't talk about often, has held their past 3 opponents below 25 points, but they had just 1 sack and 3 quarterback hits on Mayfield. Chris Jones and Frank Clark will need to get more pressure. The Honey Badger is dangerous in the secondary, but Jones and Clark have to get pressure. Chiefs cornerback Brashard Breeland sustained a concussion last Sunday. He is waiting clearance as well. Le'Veon Bell held out of practice with a swollen knee, but who cares? We'll go over some injury stuff, but there's not a lot of moving parts here. A bunch of guys not practicing, but will be playing. Okay, Mike Smith says, my homeboy passing yards prop over. I know you want to get into the props, but let's hold off on that for a second, Dutch. Talk to us about the Chiefs.
Okay. Yeah, so I did get a little bit ahead of myself. My bad, Jim. But the Chiefs on the defensive aspect, the Chiefs. This is another thing that that's the number one concern for me when it comes to Kansas City. I know they're going to score points. I know they're going to be well prepared. I know they're going to be well coached. But their defense, are they going to play? Are they going to show up at all times? And they have for most of the year, giving them that. But the Chiefs have allowed 10 receiving touchdowns in the red zone in the last 6 weeks. Which is good for 3rd most in the NFL. So when people do get in the end zone, they're scoring touchdowns. Now also the Chiefs, now from an offensive aspect, they have 118 receptions from the tight ends this season, which is good for 2nd best in the NFL. We know Travis Kelce loves to eat. He's a great player. To me personally, he's the best tight end in the NFL. And on the other end of that, the Bills allow 5.8 receptions from the tight ends, which is 2nd worst in the NFL. The Chiefs tight ends average 93.5 yards a game, which is going to be 2nd best in the NFL in the last 6 weeks as well. So it's pretty much a nightmare matchup from an aspect of Travis Kelce when it comes to the Bills Mafia's defense. So I expect a big game from Travis Kelce. And then when you look at all the other weapons they have, this is why it's hard for me to go to the window with the Bills because when it comes down to it, a lot of the numbers point that Kansas City should be able to do what they want on offense, and Travis Kelce and some others should be able to eat on a consistent basis.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I have to think that this terrible Chiefs record against the spread is a perfect setup for those of you who want to back the Chiefs. The Mahomes dealing with this concussion adds an uncomfortable element. And another thing with him when he's announced in is you'll probably want to take his rush yards under. He's probably not going to want to leave the pocket.
Oh, no, he ain't.
All right, Nolly Knows. Talk to us about the Chiefs, and we'll be backing them.
I mean, you made a great point right there with Mahomes. Him dealing with the concussion, and they talked about a bit of an ankle issue that he was dealing with as well. So you talk about those rushing props and his mobility being an issue. But to me, all those things start equating towards start pushing me more and more towards the under. You look at the last time out here against the Buffalo Bills, Kansas City ended up rushing the ball 46 times, good for 245 yards. They just kept pounding the rock, and I expect something similar here. That's what I see here with Kansas City. Think they got lucky to be able to pull off that game last week. Uh, here they sit getting their star back, and I believe everybody's going to start backing them. You made a great point that the number was not going to stick around 3. It'll get pushed up over that. If you like the Bills, wait, you'll get a better number. And I think this is two teams. These are two teams that are very evenly matched. I expect a very good game. But to me, everything that I see here, I don't see why I'm getting a 54. You look, even history backs it up a bit. 13 of the last games here have gone under the total. 8 of the 11 in Kansas City have stayed under the total. So a lot going towards the under here, and that's where I'm at.
Yes, and we will lock that in for an official pick for you here in a second, Nolly. Let's go to Bebsy. Bebsy, your take on these Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game?
Well, look, I am going to take the Bills, but I am going to be patient. I'm going to wait for them to announce that Mahomes is playing, because I do think they will announce that Mahomes is playing, and I don't think Mahomes should play. If you're the Chiefs, I don't think you should start him because, look, he's a star. He's the future face of the NFL, if he's not already the face of the NFL. And just as a fan of football, I love watching Patrick Mahomes play. I hate the way the NFL sucks him off for every little thing that he does. He makes a shovel pass, and they're like, only Mahomes can do this. That's not true. Just praise the good things he does, because he does a ton of them. Now, what I saw last week was a guy who was out, and now they're you can already see the Chiefs changing the tune. They're like, oh, it might not have been a concussion, might have been a pinched nerve. I've seen a lot of concussions. I've had a bunch. The eyes don't lie. Mahomes didn't know where he was. He is not going to be ready to go for this game, but they're going to play him. The other issue is the toe, and I don't know if the toe is that big of an issue, or if the Chiefs are building up the toe right now, saying that's the bigger issue, just so that people aren't talking about the concussion. But they really need to be talking about that concussion, because you don't want to ruin this guy's career. He's incredible. He's fun to watch, and I really don't think they should play him. I think they will play him, and I don't think he's going to be 100% there mentally. And I think if the toe thing is real, he's not going to be there 100% physically. So even when he plays, I don't know if he's going to finish the game, and I don't know if he's going to be his normal self. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to bet on the Bills, but I really think the Chiefs should be smart about this. I get it. It's the NFC or the AFC Championship. The next game is the Super Bowl. He should be ready to go. I say you roll the dice and hope Henny can win it, and worry about his entire career, not just this season.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the breakdown you just gave is coming from a football player caring about another football player. And I guess the reason why I find my compassion low for him is because, I mean, I got hit around in hockey, but I think that if I had taken some heavy hits, I probably would have the same compassion as you. Instead, I sit here thinking, here's a chance for Mahomes to battle adversity and show the kind of superstar he is, and that is probably the wrong take. And when I hear your take,
that's just not how it is with the head. You can battle through other parts of injuries, but like I've been out. Like I have been where I don't know where I am, and I don't remember what happened. And I've seen other guys happen, and that look on his face, and him being that legless. His brain is not ready to his brain's not ready to be jostled again. And I get why you wouldn't I get what you would want to see. It's a greater story that he comes back from that, but just as a guy who played and had his bell rung too many times, and look, I love watching Patrick Mahomes play. I don't want his career ruined for rushing him back. That's all.
Yeah, no, you make a good point. So Bebsy is going to move on the Bills. When it gets to 3.5, we will have to wait and see. So Bebsy, hit me when the number changes, and we will make that official.
Yeah, Jason Albert saying I never give a clear pick. My clear pick is I'm taking the Bills as soon as they announce that Mahomes is playing and the line changes.
Do you want anything with the total?
No, I'm going to stay off that.
Nolly, let's do some line shopping for you. And Nolly, I'm going to roll with you on this. I think that you've got the absolute right idea. And I think this number is going to go down, especially when – and I know that rain doesn't equal unders at all, and it possibly helps the offense. And there's turnovers and things of that nature. There's also missing kicks, things like that. But I think this total is too high. I can get you an under 54 with very little juice, minus 105 at PointsBet.
Sounds good.
Nolly is on the under 54, minus 105 at PointsBet.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the under 54, minus 105 at PointsBet. And I'm also going to take the Chiefs -3. If I get cold feet, I expect I'm not going to hedge it, so I don't even need to add that in. I just think this number is a nice number for the Chiefs here. -3, -110, and I just hope that Mahomes is all good. -3, -110. That's available at BetMGM. Okay, Dutch Boy Fresh, what are you making official?
Okay, I just got to say, in the great words of Ricky Bobby, with all due respect, Bebsy, I'm a Broncos fan, and I respect Patrick Mahomes, but if this motherfucker didn't suit up on Sunday, I would lose a lot of respect for him, bro. That's all I gotta say. I believe he's a little fragile. I think he's fine. He's ready to rock and roll, but I'm gonna stay away because of that, because I think he's gonna be just fine. And if I get a 3.5 or a 4, I might load up on the Bills, but I'm not gonna make anything official. But I think Patrick Mahomes will be just fine back there, and Andy Reid will have all the tools.
I think he's gonna play. I just don't think he's gonna be fine.
Right. We agree that he's gonna play, but I believe that he's gonna be fine. The hit wasn't even that bad. It was more the thing on the ground to me. But you're right. He looked dazed. But like I mentioned, he's a fragile guy. He don't like getting hit. You could tell he's not the biggest guy.
I almost feel like the fact that hit wasn't that bad is worse. That tells me maybe there's a pre-existing problem there. Because look, if some guy gets hit in the head at full speed, you expect a concussion. But right. Everyone can agree that hit did not look like a typical concussion hit. So if anything, I think that is worse. And if you guys are hockey guys at all, you remember Sidney Crosby was battling concussion issues for a 1.5 years, and then they found out it was a soft tissue issue, not so much a concussion. And if you think about it, the way he landed wasn't really his head smashing around. It could very well be a similar thing to what Crosby was going through. Maybe it's not a concussion issue. I just look, more than anything, I love the game and I love the great players in the game, and I just don't like seeing careers jeopardized. And it's going to happen. It's the NFL. The game is better if Mahomes is in versus whether he's not. So he's going to play, but I don't know. I have empathy for the players and especially the greats. I want to see them have a full career. I still hate to this day that I never got to see Bo Jackson's career because obviously that was a freak injury, but I feel cheated that I didn't get to see that guy play because he was unreal. Well, a full career. I got to see a bit of him.
Yeah, I hear both points, and I do think that this under if something goes wrong with Mahomes, then this under cashes for sure.